that if there weren't other dates than this, there were other memories. And by the time George Stransom was 55, such memories had greatly multiplied. There were other ghosts in his life than the ghost of Mary Antrim. He had perhaps not more losses than most men, but he had counted his losses more. He hadn't seen death more closely, but had, in a manner, felt it more deeply. He had formed little by little the habit of numbering his dead. It had come to him early in life that there was something one had to do for them. They were there in their simplified, intensified essence, their conscious absence and expressive patience, as personally there as if they had only been stricken dumb. When all sense of them failed, all sound of them ceased, it was as if their purgatory were really still on earth. They asked so little that they got, poor things, even less, and died again. Died every day of the hard usage of life. They had no organized service, no reserved place, no honor, no shelter, no safety. Even ungenerous people provided for the living, but even those who were called most generous did nothing for the others. So on George Stransom's part had grown up with the years a resolve that he at least would do something. Do it, that is, for his own. Would perform the great charity without reproach. Every man had his own, and every man had, to meet this charity, the ample resources of the soul. It was doubtless the voice of Mary Antrim that spoke for them best. As the years, at any rate, went by, he found himself in regular communion with these postponed pensioners, those whom indeed he always called in his thoughts the others. He spared them the moments. He organized the charity. Quite how it had risen, he probably never could have told you. But what came to pass was that an altar, such as was after all within everybody's compass, lighted with perpetual candles, and dedicated to these secret rites, reared itself in his spiritual spaces. He had wondered of old, in some embarrassment, whether he had a religion, being very sure, and not a little content, that he hadn't at all events the religion some of the people he had known wanted him to have. Gradually this question was straightened out for him. It became clear to him that the religion instilled by his earliest consciousness had been simply the religion of the dead. It suited his inclination. It satisfied his spirit. It gave employment to his piety. It answered his love of great offices, of a solemn and splendid ritual. For no shrine could be more bedecked, and no ceremonial more stately, than those to which his worship was attached. He had no imagination about these things, but that they were accessible to any one who should feel the need of them. The poorest could build such temples of the spirit, could make them blaze with candles and smoke with incense, make them flush with pictures and flowers. The cost, in the common phrase, of keeping them up fell wholly on the generous heart. Chapter 2. He had this year, on the eve of his anniversary, as happened, an emotion not unconnected with that range of feeling. Walking home at the close of a busy day, he was arrested in the London street by the particular effect of a shop-front that lighted the dull brown air with its mercenary grin, and before which several persons were gathered. It was the window of a jeweler, whose diamonds and sapphires seemed to laugh in flashes like high notes of sound, with the mere joy of knowing how much more they were worth than most of the dingy pedestrians staring at them from the other side of the pane. Stransom lingered long enough to suspend in a vision a string of pearls about the white neck of Mary Antrim, and then was kept an instant longer by the sound of a voice he knew. Next to him was a mumbling old woman.